Sunshines. Welcome to another live chat. Maybe you guys are watching a rewatch though, so it's not live anymore, but it was at one time. And we are diving into the second step for preparing to set your 2022 goals, which sounds so crazy because most people are like, I'm going to prepare for 2022 by setting goals, like, right, maybe on the 31st, maybe on the 1st, or just goals in general, right? Like, I'm just going to throw some stuff out there. But if you don't set up the foundation, a strong foundation for the goals you're going to set, you're probably going to be like the majority of people out there who end up failing days, if not weeks, right? Or weeks, if not days, into whatever they want to go after. So yesterday, or the first video, was all about our belief and discovering what our true beliefs are based upon how we're showing up to life, right? How we're showing up to situations. So we're going to dive in today to the second step of this after we identify what our beliefs are about ourselves and areas where we want to improve, right? We want to alter those beliefs so we have new results. Today we talk about releasing and actually letting go of that shit, right? Which in John, we got to let go of it or it's going to keep sabotaging us, and it's going to keep making us repeat the same thing over and over and over and over again. So before we do that, you guys, drop Good Morning Sunshine in the comments below. Wynn's going to help me very much so again. Drop Good Morning Sunshine or hashtag GMS. Share me something that you're grateful for today. I am grateful that this stand actually raises so that I don't have to have Witten all the time trying to get my video. But I'm not grateful that I didn't raise it up. Whatever, it's fine. So another fabulous cinematography. Maybe I'll just move you guys because he is like super tenacious today. Don't touch. Thank you very much. You're so good. All right. So I want to dive right in today to talk about our goals because I think this is going to be something applicable and usable that you guys are going to want to go into repetitively. Brittany! Oh my gosh. Congratulations, my beautiful, beautiful friend. Watch this. Watch this. Ha! Tricked you. Okay. So, don't mind the movement, but I just can't handle him touching the entire time. There we go. This is so comfortable. You guys should see how I'm sitting here. Okay, let's talk about releasing. Yeah. Yesterday, yeah, I love that. Yesterday, you guys, or if you previously watched the video, you guys worked on identifying your beliefs, and you probably saw some areas where you have created limiting beliefs. So let me give you guys some examples of what that would be, okay? And this happens in all areas of our life. We think that we're capable, able, meant to play a certain role in the world based upon what we've been told, what we've experienced, how we've succeeded, how we have failed, how those around us have succeeded and failed, is creating this thought process of what we're going to be able to achieve in our world, okay? Now, that could be, let's just look at your finances, right? You have a certain amount of money that you truly believe that is the most that you can make. And you guys, if you've ever done this before, where you're like, no, like I wanna increase my income, right? You can't hold that, because that's for my friends, okay? I wanna increase my income, right? Like I wanna get to this level. And then you like raise up and then you drop back down. And you raise up and you drop back down. You have this ceiling, this false ceiling that you've created because of your beliefs, right? There's some sort of block, or it could be in your weight, right? Like your physical body, okay? And I talked about this before. You lose the same 20 pounds over and over again. You lose the same 100 pounds over and over again. Because somewhere innately deep down, what would you like? Son, hold on guys, I have an idea. This is a good mom move. I don't care what you say. It's 8 a.m. and you're trying to do a video? Look at this. Oh, look at that. Okay, now I be quiet for you, Mom. Thank you. Okay, so looking at you might continue to gain that same weight over and over again because something deep belief, like some deep rooted belief, some subconscious belief about yourself says that you can never achieve that certain thing, which creates an adjustment in your reticular activating system, your mind, the thing that decides what you see, to see opportunities to sabotage yourself, to sabotage where you're not going to earn the additional money, where you're not going to get the additional weight loss, where you're not going to have those types of positive, uplifting relationships. Oh my gosh, this is really hurting my knees. This is perfect, right? That looks good. Okay, perfect. So here, sit right next to me, son. So the next step, you guys, as you've discovered some of those limiting beliefs of where you do want to adjust and you want to grow next year, next month, whatever that is, right? When you do want to grow in some areas, before you even go into like rewiring your brain, which we're going to talk about tomorrow or in the next video, in step number 3, you need to actually figure out what the hell's wrong with your brain. And nothing's wrong with it, okay? But you need to figure out, and I suggest that you take some time to connect to yourself and think about, like, why am I like this? Why do I have this belief? What occurred for me that I'm experiencing this type of pain around the subject, this type of negative belief about myself? I don't believe that I'm worthy of the higher income. I don't believe that I'm worthy of the healthy physique. I don't believe that I'm worthy of the happy job, the happy in and outs, the happy relationships. Somewhere, something happened, something's occurred, somebody's told you something in the past where you've harbored that energy, the negative energy around a subject, and it is blocking you. You guys, it is a complete block for what you want to become in your world, what you want to achieve in your life, right? And if we just move right on, like, I'm gonna set a goal. This year I'm gonna lose 50 pounds. This year I'm gonna repair my marriage. This year I'm gonna make an extra 10 grand. And we just say that, but we don't go through these problems or situations of our past. It's likely that you're just going to end up right where you were before every single time. You're just going to keep repeating the same mistakes because your reticular activating system, your subconscious, is going to keep seeing the same things and missing all of the opportunities. Like, there's all of these different opportunities for you to get those physical healthy results, for you to earn that extra income, for you to change your relationship and have more positivity in your life. All of these things, but your brain doesn't see it. It's like negative, 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 negative. It only sees those things because of those deep-rooted beliefs. So what do we do about this? How do we actually release and let go? And we've talked about releasing in multiple different facets now, right? And today specifically, we're talking about releasing the ownership of things that have occurred in our past. And here's what is such a funny thing, because we talk repetitively about how you write your own book, you write each chapter, you do own every single one of your moves. That's great. If you own it though, and you hold onto it as your identity, it will end up messing with your life. It's one thing to identify, hey, I could have done some things differently there. I could have performed a different way. I could have shown up. I could have stuck to my decision, whatever, and I didn't, and that's okay, and to let go of it. That's one thing, as opposed to owning those different pieces of, I am this type of person. I am bad with money. I am, I have no willpower when it comes to food. Whatever that is, right? Those are not the affirmations, that's the opposite of what we're looking for here. And just speaking, and I love affirmations, you guys, but just speaking, saying like, no, I'm great with money. Oh my gosh, money flows to me. I'm so good at this. Saying that without repairing and releasing is probably not going to get you too far. Okay, so releasing, what do we do? Pick one of the things that, where you continuously self-sabotage. I feel like a lot of people have a negative relationship with money. Otherwise, there would be so many more people, right, that were achieving 6 and 7 figure incomes, because there's an abundance of things out there. There's an abundance of ideas. There's an abundance of opportunities. Like, there's so much stuff, right? But a lot of people have some sort of negative relationship with money. And I'll use my own example, because this is my biggest one that I've been working on for years now, because I'm the one who has created a cap. You guys, like, we create businesses, we have great finances, yes, and then, right, like bankruptcies, all this different crazy stuff, and then I build a big business, and I'm like, yes, and then, like, I get a concussion, and my business all, like, changes, and I have this, like, wave, this cap that I've created, right, that I have something deep-rooted within me, so how do I let that go? So the first thing is, I have to inspect, like, actually go back to the place you don't want to go. And this is why some people, a lot of you guys are gonna watch this and you're not gonna do it. You're like, no thank you, I don't wanna revisit that. It's too painful. I don't wanna have to feel those emotions again. I don't wanna think about that shitty marriage or shitty relationship I had. I don't wanna have to think about that time that I had whatever physically happened to me. I don't wanna talk about, my bankruptcy and losing everything and being sick for a year. I don't wanna dive into that. But in order to release and let go, you guys, you have to go back. And we don't have to stay there long, but you wanna identify what it was so you can let go of it, okay? So for me, one of my biggest things, there's stuff from my childhood that I've realized too, but one of my biggest things is like my bankruptcy, 2008, 2009 recession, like all of that. Very negative feelings associated with that. Granted, I'll tell you, like I've worked through a lot of things. I'm so thankful. It led me to my new career path. It led me to all these different things. Beautiful, awesome. But that doesn't mean that I've let go of all of the different pieces. How do I let it go, right? What do you do? What do you do to let yours go? First thing is remove, like we're gonna play the blame game. You actually get to blame everybody else right now, okay? You get to blame all of the other things. There are different things that happen that made that happen to us, to me, right? Now I'm gonna take ownership in a second, right? But there are different things that happen. I did not create the 2008, 2009 recession. I did not create the bubble, right? The real estate bubble. I didn't do any of that. That's not mine. I don't need to hold on to that. But somewhere inside I might be, right? So it's actually identifying, that's not my shit. That's, yes, like there was a crappy situation, but that's not mine. I'm gonna send that back to the universe. Universe, you take that, you recycle it, like do whatever, right? Turn that into good out in the universe. I'm gonna just like let go. That's not my energy. I don't need any of that. And in your situation, right, you might have something with like your continuous, let's like say like inability to lose the weight, right? You keep gaining the weight, you keep self-sabotaging, and you go back to the past. Hold on, let's see what he's in. Oh, pots and pans, beautiful. I love when he's in the pots and pans. You go back and you're like, as a kid, right? I was called chubby all the time. It can simply be that. Somebody called you chubby when you were little. Your dad, a friend, your brother, they teased you about your weight. And it's stuck within you, and now your brain is, I'm chubby, I'm chubby, I'm chubby. I mean, isn't this silly? But it could be something just that tiny, right? And you identify that, and first of all, you realize you're not responsible for the words that came out of that person's mouth. That is theirs. Give it back to them, you guys. Release that energy, give that back to them. It doesn't mean you need to forgive them, because there's some stuff, you guys, that's what I'm talking about. It's not like, oh, I forgive you, like whatever. That's not necessary in this step. This just means I don't need to own that. That's your mess. That's your energy. And just give it back to them, okay? After you give back what's not yours, you identify what is yours, and we're gonna let go of that, okay? So in my example, okay, finances, right? My responsibility there is I decided I still wanted to stay home with my babies. I did not want to go back to a 9-to-5 job, right? We did not sell our house. We could have sold our house 6 months earlier and been amazing, right? We were the ones that got the loan with a certain bank that wouldn't do loan modifications, like a credit union, right? So there are things that we did, actions that we took that led to our situation. Now I get to forgive myself for those. This is big, you guys. A lot of you guys don't feel like you deserve to forgive yourself. And so untrue. So untrue. If you're punishing yourself for things that you've done in the past, if you're punishing yourself for being in that relationship, for staying in that relationship, for marrying that type when you knew that you shouldn't have, or stepping out, whatever you did that wasn't great, right? Any of your actions, any of your ownership, if you're punishing yourself over and over again, all you're doing is creating a negative energy in the world where when you let go, you get to step into your greatness. So I get to review the situation, and not in front of you guys, not right here. I can take my own time, right? This is where I have personal space, where I'm like, I get pissed about it, I get sad about it, I get whatever, right? Any emotions that still exist, I give back the universe. That, like, there was so much jacked up stuff that was going on there. There were so many people that were affected. That's not mine. Then I realized what was mine. These are the decisions I made, and I said, you know what? It's okay. I forgive myself. Right? I've learned. If you don't learn from a situation, this is a great time for you to think, like, what could I learn from it? Because for me, I know I learned from that. I learned my truest values, right? I learned more about like financial management. I learned different things. It led me to different spaces. If you learn from mistakes, the growth comes. So wherever you're at in your past, right, if you learn from that, you get to move forward. So now this is the practice of letting go, which we've done before, right? Where you seriously just sit with it for a second and then just allow for that energy to leave your body. That's not mine anymore. I don't need that. That's not making me a better person. Yes, did it occur in the past? It did, but it's not making me a better person. And once you release these different things, these different broken boundaries and broken energy boundaries that you have wrapped around money, weight, relationships, whatever it is, once you start to let go of it, it's freaking amazing because this new space opens up within you to attract the goals that we're about to set, right? If you're setting goals and you don't do any of this process, like you're gonna say, I want all this different stuff to happen, but you're too full of shit to attract it to your world. You got gunk up to here, right? You've got all of this, this pain and this regret and this remorse and this fear and this anxiety, and you're up to here with it. It's hard to attract things. It's hard to bring it into your world when you're stuck with that stuff. So this is literally emptying, letting go of it so that we can move forward, so that we can move on. Maybe yours was the weight loss example that I was talking about. Somebody called you chubby. You gave them back. That was their thing, right? But what's your ownership? You believed it, right? You believed it. You were the one who took it personally. You didn't practice your 4 agreements. You probably didn't even know what 4 agreements were. You were probably 8 years old or whatever it was, right? But you did allow for that to become your identity. And after you realize that, you gave theirs back, and it's like, okay, I did allow myself to believe that and think that. And I forgive myself for that. And I'm ready to let go of it. And it might not be something that happens like this for you, but it could be. Like sometimes I can just feel this like whoosh, like it's just like, oh, like it's gone, right? Other times it like keeps creeping back in, right? Like the little, like somebody makes a comment, or you see something like, oh, chubby, just creep back in. I gotta practice releasing again. Whatever, like anger around a situation, just creep back in. I gotta release again. So it might be something you're continuously doing, but with time, it's going to go away. Okay, so this is just step 2 in how to prepare to set goals. People don't prepare to set their goals. They just set their goals and they don't create the opportunity for success. All right, I encourage you guys after today, if you haven't listened to the first video, go back and listen about release. And then today, take some of those different things that might be holding you back in areas that you want to grow in your life, whether that's finances, personal space, relationship, your job, your happiness, your attitude. Look at some different things of like reoccurring. Look at like where you reoccurringly self-sabotage, where the same shit goes wrong over and over again. Dig in those areas, be with it, try to discover what was going on. And if you don't even know what the situation is, but you know it just feels yucky, then just give it back. Here you go, universe, that's not mine, and whatever is mine, I'm just gonna whoosh, let go, okay? Let me know how it feels if you guys do this practice. We will be moving on to step 3 of our preparing to set goals. Oh, you sad again? He's sad again, you guys. So that's all we have for today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate you. Remember to make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe. Give me a couple comments below so I can know where you're at in this journey, or if you've identified anything that's going on, or if you need help anywhere, right? I'd be glad to do that. I love you guys. You want to say goodbye? You want to say bye? Okay. Say I love you guys. If you're committed, say I'm committed in the comment bar. Guys, thank you so much. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye. Whoop. Whoop.